Bismillahi walhamdulillahi assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. Today inshallah we will try our best to continue, in fact complete our study of Surah Maryam and go through ayah number 71 till 98. But before we start today's class, just like every class, we'll just quickly go through the action that we went through last time. Ibrahim alayhi salam tried to convince his father to follow one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and leave idol worshipping in the most respectful way. And we got a lot of lessons out of this story. In fact, the next lesson was also related to the same story. And we learned that we have to always treat our parents with respect, and we have to use our logic and wisdom to convince them. We cannot be aggressive with them. We cannot be irrational with them. We cannot be annoyed with them. Ibrahim alayhi salam continued to respect and pray for his father even after he was harsh to him. So he was inviting him to oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim alayhi salam was inviting his father to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam. He was so harsh to him, he said, I will get you stoned, killed, or take you away, or go away from my sight. Still, he was respectful of him. So the important lesson out of that for us was we have to be obedient to our parents all the time, except if they ask you to go against the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, against the Sharia of Islam, against the guidance in the Holy Quran or the Hadith and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you don't have to follow them. Still, you have to be respectful. You cannot leave the element of respect. Then we also learned from the same story that tough situations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are a test, especially those related to either following the guidance or not. And there are many times in our lives where we will face such situation, and it will look very difficult from a worldly standpoint how to follow the guidance. It can be related to interest, it can be related to money, it can be related to multiple other things in life that are important for us. So then we will have to choose the right path, which is the guided path, and it may require certain sacrifice or a cost. But once you take that step, once you make that bold move, then inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy, as we learned in the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And we have to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us steadfast on his guidance. And then action number 4 we took last time was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning specifically prostrating and weeping, meaning crying, as a sign of guided people. While usually, especially for boys, we are being told that tough men don't cry and you should not cry and all of that. And we had a good discussion on that one in the last class. So the action that we took was we have to prostrate, meaning do sujood, make prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and cry in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all our worries and prayers for this world and akhirah. And finally, we closed the lesson on very strong ayahs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala related to the people who will be burnt in hellfire. And we discussed that this is not an option. This is not at all an option. Imagine getting a fire in your hand and just a small candle and try lighting your hand with it. You will, so we cannot even imagine what will be the pain that will be given in the afterlife. So we all together recited this small dua or prayer, and we said the next step that we took was that all of us need to remember this and learn this and recite it in the morning and in the evening. Allahumma ajirni minan nar, meaning, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protect me from hellfire. Now we'll continue the study inshallah of the same surah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا, and there is not any of you but they will be passing over it. كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا. This is upon your Lord an inevitability decreed, meaning that this will happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make sure that this will happen, that all of us will pass over. So in multiple tafsirs from different Islamic scholars, what you will find there is a bridge, and once we will all gather on the day of judgment in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of the people will be asked to cross over the bridge before entering Jannah. And this will be a tough time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in that tough situation. And those people who have been guided, who believed in oneness of Allah, and who are the ones who have passed the test of this life, they will be able to cross the bridge. And there are multiple, and inshallah, once it comes later on in the Quran, we will go through a detailed hadith related to this specific bridge that all of us will have to cross on the day of judgment, and there is very nice detail on different types of people, different levels of Iman. Some of the people will be breezing past like lightning. Some of them will be going with the speed of horses. Some of them will be crawling. Some of them will be struggling, but they will still pass through. However, many of them will also fall in hellfire as well. So we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect in that situation. So we should make this dua, and this is an action for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illuminate the bridge for us to cross over hellfire towards Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Because it will not be an easy thing. And in order for that bridge to be illuminated, we have to try our best to be the best practicing Muslim that we can be in order for that crossing, in order to make that crossing possible for ourselves. So I hope this point is clear. Moving forward, ثُمَّ نُنَجِّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. Then we will deliver those who feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we will leave the wrongdoers therein bent on the knees. We will all be going in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the evildoers will be brought in like a herd of people. And the herd of sheep who are really thirsty, and when they are brought in front of the water, how they feel. So that's how they will be brought in front, who are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are wrongdoers. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُنَا بَيِّنَاتٍ قَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And when our verses are recited to them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Quran and verses and ayahs are recited in front of them in a clear way, those who say disbelieve to those which believed. So the disbelievers, when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite Quran in front of the Quraysh and the people and the disbelievers, those who disbelieved, who were the strong ones, who thought that we are the powerful one, we are the chiefs, we have the authority, and I am the minister and I am the supreme leader and whatever, they used to talk to the ones who believed, who mostly were from a lower class, and what they used to say, ayyul fariqaini khairum maqamu wa ahsanu nadiyya. Which of the two groups is better in position and best in assembly? So now they are trying to compare. Look at you guys. You're the ones who are believing in the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the so-called prophet, right? Look at you. You're so poor and you don't have wealth, you don't have power. We are the one in the Shura, we are the governors, and we are the one who are ruling Makkah. Look at our power, look at our might. That's how they look down upon those people who believe in the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَكَمْ أَهْلَكْنَا قَبْلَهُمْ مِنْ قَرْنٍ هُمْ أَحْسَنُوا أَسَاسًا وَرِئْيًا. And how many we destroyed before them of a generation. They were better in possessions and better in appearance. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them. There were so many powerful nations who were destroyed because of their arrogance. They had power. They had physical strength. We learned about the nation of Ad, Samud, Midian, and multiple other nations who were really powerful. They were so powerful, they were creating and carving castles in mountains and stone, and you can still witness them in parts of the Middle East. So they were also destroyed. So who are you in front of them? They also had wealth, and they also became arrogant. Now, the one point that I want us to note and take action from is that wealth and power. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is saying these are the people, powerful people who are disbelievers, wrongdoers. They are looking down upon people who don't have wealth and who don't have power, and saying, so you are the believing guys. Look at you. You are less than us. We are better than you from a worldly standpoint, right? So the point that we have to note is wealth and power in this world doesn't guarantee success in afterlife. Because some of the people think, I've been kept so well here. I'm doing so well. I'm the head of this, and I'm the CEO, and I'm the governor, and I'm the prime minister, and I'm this and that, and I'm a self-made person, and I've done this and that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so happy with me. I will also be successful in the afterlife. I will get more or similar to this in the afterlife, and I'm sorted. I don't have to do anything. But the statement that I've put forward here is that wealth and power in this world doesn't guarantee success in afterlife. Why am I saying this? Who will tell me? Whatever comes to your mind. Why does wealth and power in this world? Yes, go ahead, Umar.
What the money we have, it is just paper. What will it help us? If I tell money, then it is useless, but it has only some value. In the afterlife, you cannot bribe someone like Allah. No.
Jazakallahu khairan, Umar. Very, very good point. MashaAllah. Tabarakallah. Jazakallahu khairan for adding this point. And even in our previous lessons, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if somebody brings gold worth this entire world, or even a world like this, double the gold entire, equal to the entire world, that will be also worthless in afterlife. So having wealth and power in this world doesn't guarantee success in afterlife. Jazakallah khairan, Umar. Thank you so much for your contribution. Because this life is a test for everyone. Those who are given wealth and power are tested what they will do with it. Will they abuse it? Will they become arrogant with it? Will they look down upon people? And those who are not given wealth and power, they are tested for their patience. Will they do sabr? Will they still say Alhamdulillah? Will they still try to live within their means? So this life, guys, what we need to understand is it's not, this world is not just the accomplishment. The accomplishment is in the afterlife. And everybody is going through a test. In fact, if you look at it, the person who has wealth and power, he is in an even more tougher test. Why? Because he has choice. If you have extra money, you have choice. Can you give it away, or you will keep it to yourself like a miser person and an arrogant person, or someone who doesn't care about other people? You have a choice. It's tough. So you can do this or that, and your action will determine. Similarly, when somebody is not given, all they have to do is do patience. By the way, that is not also easy. In a tough situation, especially when you're leading a family, and if there is a situation where you have less money, or when you are unable to feed your children or your family, or you're not able to provide for the education, it is a very, very, very tough situation. And a lot of the people in the world face this situation. So it is not at all easy. However, the test from an afterlife standpoint is for both the people who have been given wealth and power and those who have not been given. So the action for us is, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you wealth and power, make sure to utilize it for the benefit of others. Don't become arrogant and miser like the picture that I've put. A miser is a person who keeps all the wealth to himself, and he wants to cling on to it and not leave it. This is a miser person, right? So don't become that person who just thinks that he needs to accumulate more and more and more wealth, and he becomes arrogant in his head that, it's all mine and my power, and eventually he dies and realizes the reality. Moving forward. قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ فِي الضَّلَالَةِ فَلْيَمْدُ لَهُ الرَّحْمَنُ مَدًّا. Whoever say is in the error, then surely will extend for him the most gracious an extension. So the people who are saying all of this, the ones who are powerful and wealthy, and they are looking down upon others who are, let's say, less privileged, still they are believers, then those people, the chiefs who are becoming arrogant in their mind, they are the ones surely in the error. And the important thing to note is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them an extension, meaning there is a time period that they get. They think, we are doing so well, and look at this, and we have been so blessed over the years and everything. It's time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them. Hatta iza ra'awma yu'aduna imma al-adaba wa imma as-sa'a. Until when are they given this extension? When they see what they were promised, either the punishment or the hour, meaning the day of judgment. They will either be punished in this world, they will be brought down, their power will be taken, their wealth will be taken, or the day of judgment, they will see the reality in both cases. Or once they die and their time is up, they will see the reality. Everything will open, the curtains, the veil in front of their eyes will open. فَسَيَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ هُوَ شَرٌّ مَكَانًا وَأَضْعَفُ جُنْدًا. Then they will know who is worst in position and weaker in forces. They will realize the real person who was weak and who was worst in position. Once that reality will open up to them. The important thing to note here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives extension, because sometimes we see people around our society who we think are doing so well. Oh, he's so powerful, look at him and everything, from a worldly standpoint. And we see them doing atrocities. Atrocities are what? The meaning of the word atrocities is they're doing crimes, they're doing corruption, they're taking bribes. And while it seems that they are getting away, it seems like, oh, look at him, he's driving an amazing car and he's living in a big house, and yes, and he's so proud, and he works in a typical situation. They call it generally government officers and private officers, and there are certain jobs that are more seemingly more corrupt. However, it can be anywhere and can be present anywhere. Still, the point is that um, the important thing to note is that it is not like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just letting them go away. We just learned in the previous ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only giving them time to revert back and seek forgiveness. If in this time they don't get back and they don't seek forgiveness, then they go deeper in their sins and they get a more severe punishment. So they get into deeper loss. While they were thinking, we are enjoying, we are powerful, we have wealth, we are in control, whatever. Once the hour comes and their time is up, they realize. But the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, He is the most merciful, is extending their time, is not to let them be cruel and all of this. He's extending time so that they can revert back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask for forgiveness. And if they don't do it and they continue in their path of sins, then obviously they will get an even more severe punishment. So the action for us, again, very important action for us is, because I'm sure all of you will inshallah continue to earn, and you will be generating wealth, you will be earning money, salary, either profit from your business, whatever, and you will get into positions of power, you will complete your education inshallah, and you will be managing people, you will raise in organizations, or if you start your own business, whatever you plan to do, then continue to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and always be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Treat others with kindness and care, like you want yourself to be treated, especially those who are less privileged people, especially those who are working in your house, especially those who are trying to serve you. It is not easy for people to serve others. You have to kill your ego to clean somebody's car, or clean somebody's washroom, or do somebody's laundry, or to cook somebody's food, or whatever house help you are getting, or even if you go to a restaurant and you would like to be served just because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you some extra money and somebody's coming you, he's like a waiter and he's serving you and saying you sir, and you're saying, no, this plate has a crack and take it away, and this food is whatever, and you're becoming arrogant, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that position as a test how you will treat those other people. So especially we need to take care especially of the people who are less privileged, who are in that situation, killing their egos, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed us in a better situation. We should not try to abuse it. So we have to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and treat others with kindness and care, especially those who are less privileged versus us. And always in the society, regardless of what level you are in the society, you will always find people below you. You will always find people, someone who is lower or less privileged. However, we just got to know from the akhirah standpoint, you don't know, they may be better than you, they may be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe they are accepted, they are more blessed, and they'll be much better than us in the heaven. So we have to be really careful not to offend anyone. I hope this point is clear. Moving forward. وَيَزِيدُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا هُدًى. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases those who accept guidance in guidance. Now, this is a very important statement. I need 100% attention from everyone. So in case, I know this is an online class, in case you are, in other windows or chatting with someone or, playing or whatever, I just need 100% attention. I hope all of you are with me. So please, I need 100% attention. This is a very important ayah, very important lesson. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases those who accept guidance in guidance. وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتُ خَيْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ ثَوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ مَرَدًّا. And the everlasting good deeds are better near your Lord for reward and better for your return. Who will explain me what is the meaning of... Sorry, before I go forward, I will get to that point. There is an explanation that I put here that I found because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and Allah increases those who accept guidance in guidance. We will get into the details of this statement. It's very important. And the everlasting good deeds are better near your Lord for reward and better for return. Now, those who walk the right path are the true believers. Now, true believers in the oneness of Allah who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much, they abstain from all kinds of sins and evil deeds which He has forbidden, and love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much, perform all kinds of good deeds which He has ordained. Meaning, if you love someone, you try to please them. If we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will try to please Him by doing all the good deeds. And we will be fearful. The fear factor, when we say taqwa is fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fear is not like we are afraid. Yes, of course, we should be afraid of not offending Him. When you love someone, you fear that you do not offend them. They should now not mind anything that you do, right? This is our attitude. So this is what we need to create towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Automatically, we will start to follow the guidance. We will start doing halal things. We will try to stay away from haram things. We will try to follow the guidance if we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's very, very important that we become from those people who follow the right path. And who are the people who are right? And who are the people who are doing the good things? Are the true believers in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who fear Allah much, abstain from all kinds of sins and evil deeds that He has forbidden, because we fear that we don't want to lose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love, and love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much, perform all kinds of good deeds which He has ordained. Now, again, I need 200% attention from everyone. Very, very important point that I am about to discuss. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases those who accept guidance in guidance. Who will explain me what does it mean? Whatever comes to your mind. Reading this statement. Anything that comes to your mind. Yes, Umar, go ahead.
Teaches those who accept guidance and guidance. So when you're willing to take something, then only someone will give you more of something. You can't say I don't want something and they'll keep giving you. No one does that. If you're willing to get some knowledge, then only you can get knowledge. And that will benefit you.
Brilliant answer, Umar. You already started explaining my coming slides. You already made it easy for me. Zen, you're about to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to say that basically Allah will give guidance to those who will ask guidance. And basically इसके लिए ये भी है ना कि अल्लाह ताला सिर्फ हदायत ऐसी चीज़ है जो अल्लाह ताला मांगने पे देते हैं, खुद नहीं मिलती. तो ये फिक्र इसीलिए है कि गाइडेंस उन्हीं को मिलेगी जो इसकी तलब रखेगा, और अल्लाह ताला उसके लिए जो है बढ़ाएगा गाइडेंस को और आसान करेगा रास्ता.
Jazakallah khairan, Zain. I'll just translate the last part that you said for everyone. So basically, what Zain said is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives guidance to those who seek guidance and who take steps in guidance. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even will make the path of guidance easy for us. Jazakumullah khairan, Umar and Zain, for your contributions. Amazing, amazing contributions. Jazakallah khairan. So I want to put a situation in front of you guys, and I want answers from all of you. Let's say you want to get education. You want to get into a higher education, or you want to, let's take an example. Let's say you want to do MBA, for example. You want to do MBA, and if you want to do MBA, then what will you do? What are the first steps that you will do? Of course, let's assume you have done your high school. Let's assume you have done your college. So if you don't want to do your MBA, what will you do? The first thing that you will do.
Sir?
Yes, Abdullah, go ahead.
Yeah, sir, first I will take admission for my MBA, and I'll like see the what steps do I need to like work on it, how to achieve the good results and everything.
Excellent. Jazakallah khairan, Abdullah. Brilliant answer. You're right. You will do some effort. You will check for school. You will look for a college or a university. No, let's say it's an MBA. So you will look for a university. You will try to look what is the best university that you can go to. You can check for the courses. You will look at some professors. By the way, when I typed university professor, this is the image that came. He doesn't look very friendly, but it's okay. He's like a professor. So check for the courses. You will look for professors. Of course, you will compare the fees if you can afford it or not. And then after making multiple comparisons, you will shortlist, and then you will try to focus. You will prepare and give multiple admission tests. And finally, inshallah, I mean, if it is good for you, then you will get admission in a particular university, right? These are all the steps that you did, and still you haven't even started. So still let's say it's a 2-year program of MBA or 1.5-year program of MBA, whatever it is, evening, morning. Still, all of this effort you did just to start. Then the real effort starts, which is the 2-year program. You have to take the classes regularly. You cannot be absent, and you have to learn, and you have to solve case studies. you have to give exams, a lot of things, and quizzes and class participation, multiple things you will do in order to achieve that MBA degree. So you will take some step, right? You will initiate in order to get educated. You will make an effort to get educated here. And which is why I said, when Omar gave the first answer to this question, I said that he's already started to discuss my following slides, because he also mentioned something related to education, that when you seek education, you make effort for it. Same thing for guidance, guys. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases those who accept guidance in guidance. Some of the times people quote and misquote an ayah from the Quran where it says that Quran can also misguide people, and they say, oh, so you see Quran is misguide, all of this. No, if you have evil intention in your heart, you can be misguided, because your intention is not pure. You're not seeking guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, the issue, what is the issue? The issue is that we get trained very well throughout our lives on how to be successful in this world. Whenever we are starting, we are a little kid, from 3-year-old or 4-year-old, we get admitted in the school, and you're crying, I don't want to go to the school and everything, and you get pushed into the school, and you get education, and your teachers are beating you, and your parents are asking you to complete your homework and everything. Is why? Because they want you to be successful in school, so that you can be successful in college, and then you can be successful in university, and then you can be successful in your job or a business that you do, because they want to set you up in this world. That is the success that we have in our mind. All success is attributed to this world. But what about Akhirah? What about guidance? The most people do is, okay, fine, you just pray, fine, you find time, you pray and whatever, and okay, fine, I will stop the Quran classes because now the exams are coming, so I will restart after the exams, because exams are more important, because that is the criteria of success. I will yeah, so Qari Saab, please don't come today, tomorrow he has an exam, he's studying, and multiple many examples. So the problem is, in our societies, not just any one country or any one region, across the world, the criteria of success is this world only. What we are learning from today's ayahs and from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, even if you have wealth and power, even if you think you are successful in this world, this does not guarantee success in the hereafter. Just like we are putting effort in this world, getting education, getting trained, getting everything, getting a good job, or starting our business, or whatever we are doing in this, just to be successful in this world, we have to put in a lot of effort to be successful in the afterlife. Always think, what are you adding to yourself and your afterlife? Because that is also a very real reality. And we will see what that reality is in the upcoming ayahs. So the action for us until now, what we have discussed is that we have to seek guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you seek guidance? You pray for guidance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you make effort for it. Meaning you try to learn what is the guidance. You try to educate yourself. What do I have to do? What are the halal things? What are the haram things? What is the right way to do it? You discuss it with Islamic scholars. If you have questions related to fiqh, you go to muftis, you go to scholars, you try to correct your life. What is zina? What is riba? What is interest? What is halal? What is haram? What are these things that I need to 100% avoid? What are the good things that I can do? Well, how can I earn more hasanat? How can I earn more reward? So you try to make effort for it, to get the knowledge. And once you get the knowledge, you implement whatever you know. You don't wait. You don't say, fine, I will do Hajj once I am 50-year-old and I have made a big house and I have married off all my daughters. No, that is not the criteria of doing Hajj. Hajj gets further on you once you have the means and you can just make the travel. Then you just have to go. So similarly, we have to learn what the true knowledge is and implement in our lives immediately once we get to know the knowledge. And then we have to grow in it. We have to be better Muslims every day. And then we have to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again to keep us steadfast on the guidance. And then this cycle continues. You have to repeat again and again and again. It's not like now I am guided and now I am done. Now I don't need any further knowledge, no further guidance. Somebody has guaranteed me heaven, and now the only path for me is heaven, and khalas, I'm done. No, it's a continuous struggle. Why is it a continuous struggle? Because shaitan is continuously whispering in our ears. Shaitan is continuously whispering, nobody's watching, nobody's watching. Just watch this picture. Yeah, it's just a picture. It's just a joke. It's funny. Watch this video. It's so nice. It's just, one girl and, she's not completely uncovered. So just watch it. She's half, whatever. All of this is waswasa. He just wants you to get drowned in things that you don't have to be drowned, which is why we have to seek guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in prayers, which is why 5 times prayers have been enjoined upon us, so that we continue to stay connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We continue to make effort, we continue to become better Muslims, and then we continue this cycle daily, on a daily basis, repeat all over, and become better Muslims every day. So this was a very important action and point that I wanted to discuss. And again, as I mentioned, this is a lifelong effort. It cannot be, okay, from January to or June, July are my holidays. That's when I will start to recite Quran and do my prayers and everything else. And after those holidays, or it's Ramadan. So in Ramadan, I cannot miss any prayer, by the way, but the rest 11 months I can, of course, only Jummah I have to pray. The rest I will not pray. No, it's not like that. There is no break from Islam. These are wrong concepts, because people don't feel Islam as the way of life, as a way of daily life. So you have to become daily, you have to try to improve yourself and become a better practicing Muslim every day. It's not a seasonal thing. Islam is not seasonal. It's always on, right? It's a lifelong effort. Moving forward. أَفَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ بِآيَاتِنَا وَقَالَ لَا أُوتَيَنَّ مَالًا وَوَلَدًا. Then you have seen he who disbelieved in our verses and said, surely I will be given wealth and children, right? So if I am well in this world, I will be given wealth and children in the afterlife as well. أَطَّلَعَ الْغَيْبَ أَمِ اتَّخَذَ عِنْدَ الرَّحْمَنِ أَحْدًا. Has he looked into the unseen? Has he looked into the future? Or has he taken from the most gracious, Ar-Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a promise? Has he come in with an agreement in his life? I have this written agreement that, I'll be going to heaven no matter what I do. I have a lot of money, I have a lot of kids. Here is my pass, free pass to heaven, free pass to Jannah. Here is the VIP seat, I'll be sitting in the front and, eating popcorns in Jannah. No, it's not like that. It has not been confirmed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging those people who have wealth, who have people who think, I'm doing great in this world, and I'll get the front row seat in Jannah as well. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do you have a VIP ticket? Do you have a VIP pass? Do you have a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Kalla, nay, they don't. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is saying, they don't have anything. Sanaktubu ma yaqulu wa namuddu lahu minal azabi madda. We will record what he says, and we will extend from him, from the punishment, extensively. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying he will extend from himself the punishment extensively. They'll get more and more severe punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَنَرِثُهُ مَا يَقُولُ وَيَأْتِينَا فَرْضًا. We will inherit from him and what he says, and he will come to us alone. This is the reality that I was hinting before. Regardless of how much wealth you are, regardless of how rich you are or poor you are, there is a reality. So never assume if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept you well in this world, then this is a guarantee of success in hereafter. There is no VIP pass for Jannah. You have to really go and earn for it. So remember, it's a test. When you're giving something, when you're given power, when you're given wealth, it's a test of what will you do with it. It's not a guarantee of success in afterlife. And always remember the end. Regardless of how your life is, regardless you are rich or poor, this is the end. Can someone tell me what is the picture showing us? What is in the picture, guys? Unmute. Tell me, what is this?
It's a grave, sir.
Yes.
Qabr.
This is a grave. It's qabr. Jazakallahu khairan, Abdullah Arif. And I'm sure all of you have realized this is the reality. This is the final view. I don't know, what once we die, what we feel and everything, if we'll be able to look at it. But this is a very scary picture, because I was just searching on Google on image of a grave and all of this, and I found this one. This is really scary, guys. This is the reality. You will lie down in your you think that you are wealthy, and you lie on your bed, and you look and you have a big house and you have an amazing car and all of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is the reality. No one has ever escaped. I never found any story on Google that told me somebody has been living for 10,000 years and they said, I did not die. No, I never found it. Majority of the stories you find of people who live long are coming from maybe people from Japan or people from someone, and they are 100 years, 110 years, 120 years. They're giving tips on how to be fit and healthy and all of that. By the way, you should follow some of those tips. It's good to be healthy and fit so that you can pray better and be a better Muslim. But nobody lives forever. This is the reality. And when this reality happens, we go empty-handed without any relatives. In fact, it is our relatives who lay us down in this situation and in this view. They put us down and they leave us after putting dust on us. They literally, I mean, actually, dust, they throw dust on us. And so this is the end. Keep this end in mind. Either you are rich or poor, you are a king or you are whatever, you're the prime minister, you're the CEO of a corporation, you're the biggest, richest guy, billionaire, multi-billionaire. This is the end, the reality. So if this is the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, then, we should be a bit more humble and a bit more kind and caring towards others. Moving forward. وَاتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ آلِهَةً لِيَكُونُوا لَهُمْ عِزًّا. And they have taken besides Allah gods that they may be for them an honor. So it's not like the idols or the stone gods or, in different religions like Hinduism, there are gods. No, but there are people who think, oh, my boss will do this something for me. My uncle will get me this job, or my this will get me this. And I know a very important person. He's a minister of that and he's the governor. He will make sure I get. No, guys, these are all the agents or the resources Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Yes, you can call someone and you can ask them for help and everything else. But our belief should be that we are relying on Allah alone. We should not create smaller gods in our head. This person will give me this person will give me this person. Yes, I mean, you are relying on people. Let's say you are a student, you are a young person, you're reliant on your parents. When you grow up, you have your network of friends, you have your network of colleagues in your office or whatever in your company, but you don't rely on them. You rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's the one who will give you, and He can make anybody a wasila or an agent or a source for you, the one whom He chooses to be a source for you. But the original source is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rest of them are agents. And we have discussed this topic multiple times when we are discussing the topic of shirk as well during some of our early lessons. So, and they have taken besides Allah gods that they may be for them an honor. By the way, some people also take some religious scholars as their followers. Oh, I will be just following this person and all of this, and they are my, anyways. So, Kalla, nay, this is not true. Sayakfuruna bi ibadatihim wa yakununa alayhim zidda. And they will deny their worship of them and they will be against them as opponents. So the people or the gods that whom they had created in their mind, those gods will disown those people. They will say in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no, we have nothing to do with them. They were the ones worshipping us for any reason. We have nothing to do with them. They are not, they will just deny because they will be worried about their own salvation. They will be worried about how they can protect themselves in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody will take ownership of anyone. Nobody will say, yes, I was the one who showed him the direction of shirk and, I asked him to follow me and everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going to hell and take him to hell. No, people will be like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. This is what will be going on at that time. Alam tara anna arsalna shayatina alal kafirina ta'uzzuhum azza. Do not you see that we have sent the devils upon the disbelievers, inciting them with incitement? So the devils are upon them. They're just following those devils, and they're growing in their mischief. They're growing in their corruption. They're growing in their sins. They're thinking they're doing amazing thing, and they're amassing all of this, and for themselves they're becoming even more and more arrogant. And they are getting further into the sins that they're doing. فَلَا تَعْجَلْ عَلَيْهِمْ. So do not make haste against them. إِنَّمَا نَعُدُّ لَهُمْ عَدًّا. We count for them a number. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in a hurry to punish people. It's not like you do a corruption and suddenly something falls from the sky and you're crushed under it. It's not like that. It's easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but He gives us time. We learned it in the previous ayah as well. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives people time? So that they can ask forgiveness and revert back, because He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim for everyone. He gives everybody time. However, if they don't come back, then they go severe into the sin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has counted everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows who is doing what and how many people are, not on the right path. So he has them, everybody is like, when you like in an army situation, when they're counting the soldiers and they're sending them on a mission, they have all of these lists, and or in a school enrollment, all the students are counted, and the teachers know that, who's a good student, who's a bad student, whatever, and they know as they are progressing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mean, all these examples are worldly examples, but for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to count and to have absolute knowledge, we know there is no limit to that. يَوْمَ نَحْشُرُ الْمُتَّقِينَ إِلَى الرَّحْمَنِ وَفْدًا. The day we will gather the righteous to the most gracious as a delegation. So these are the people who are on the right path. وَنَسُوقُ الْمُجْرِمِينَ إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ وِرْدًا. And we will drive the criminals to hell thirsty. Here they will be brought in like, those thirsty animals, when the animals, a herd of sheep or a herd, if you watch some of the National Geographic or these wildlife videos, and when they show you animals who are thirsty, or when there is a forest that is going through a drought and suddenly water starts flowing in river, and the animals are running towards it, you see their tongue is hanging out and they are in a very desperate situation. The criminals will be brought to hell thirsty like those herd of animals. They will be dragged on like this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us to be in that situation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and keep us steadfast on his guidance. Ameen. La yamlikuna shafa'ata illa man ittakhadha inda rahmani ahda. They will not have the power of the intercession. No one will be able to intercede in anybody's case, except he who has taken from the most gracious a covenant. So there may be that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives that power of shifa as well. And we know there are different elements of shifa that will also be granted to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We went through some of them in the previous lessons as well, but we'll go through them in the future as well. وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا. And they say the most gracious has taken a son. I mean, the most gracious, he has children or he has kids. Who said? The Christians said that Isa alayhi salam, na'uzubillah, is the son of God, and Mary, and the concept of their Trinity and whatever they have constituted in their heads. So they say that. The mushriks used to say, the mushriks of Makkah, they used to say that God has angels as his daughters, and all of the things that they made up and all the inventions that they made up. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and they say the most gracious, Rahman, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has taken a son. لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا إِدَّا. Verily you have put forth an atrocious thing. This is the most hateful thing that you can say. This is the worst thing that you can say, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. Na'uzubillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has children or has son or has daughters. Takadu samawati yatafattarna minhu wa tanshaqqul ardu wa takhirrul jibalu hadda. Almost the heavens get torn therefrom and splits as under the earth and collapse the mountain in devastation. So this is the impact of such a thing that they are saying. Anda'u lirrahmani walada, that they invoke to the most gracious a son. Wama yambaghi lirrahmani an yattakhidha walada. And it is not appropriate for the most gracious that he should take a son. A creator cannot take his own creation. It's not even logical that the creator himself has the creation as his son. No, it cannot be. Then people will start thinking, okay, so the son is also a god, and then the son of God becomes the god, and what happens to the original God? So this doesn't even logically make sense. The creator and the creation have to be separate. So it is not appropriate for the most gracious that he should take a son. In kullu man fis samawati wal ardi illa atir rahmani abda. Not all who are in the heavens and the earth, but will come to the most gracious as a slave. All his creation will come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment as his slaves. لَقَدْ أَحْصَاهُمْ وَعَدَّهُمْ عَدًّا. Verily, he has enumerated them and counted them, and he is counting those who are saying such things, those who are saying such false things. وَكُلُّهُمْ آتِهِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَرْدًا. And all of them will come to him on the day of the resurrection alone. We saw the image before, how we die. We die and we are inside the grave. We are alone in two pieces of cloth, and we have nothing in our hands, and nobody is there to support us. All of us. This is a reality no one can deny. be a Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, Jew, atheist, or any other religion follower, of the reality of death. No one can deny. I mean, we discussed it just before. No one is saying that I lived for 10,000 years. Look, I am here alive, and here's my ID card or passport that was in 1200 BC created, whatever. No one says that, right? Everybody dies. This is a reality. So everyone will be gathered in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Inna alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati sayaj'alu lahumur rahmanu wudda. Indeed, those who believed and did good things will bestow for them the most gracious affection and love from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a beautiful hadith that I found out related to this ayah. This is in Sahih al-Bukhari, narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if Allah loves a person, he calls Jibrail saying, Allah loves so and so. Oh Jibrail, love him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Jibrail alayhi salam also to love that person. Jibrail would love him, and then Jibrail would make an announcement amongst the resident of the heavens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves so and so, therefore you should love him also. So all the residents of the heavens would love him, and he is granted the pleasure of the people of the earth. Such a beautiful, beautiful hadith for having the affection and love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if somebody gets in the good books or in amongst those people who are loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they also love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all amongst those people who love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with affection. Last two ayahs for today. Alhamdulillah, we are on time. In fact, we have some extra. فَإِنَّمَا يَسَّرْنَاهُ بِلِسَانِكَ لِتُبَشِّرَ بِهِ الْمُتَّقِينَ وَتُنذِرَ بِهِ قَوْمًا لُدًّا. So only we have made it easy in your tongue that you may give glad tidings with it to the righteous and warn with it the people who are hostile. Ludda. So this word lud is explained in this way: the evildoer, wicked, quarrelsome people who don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's oneness and his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's message, and argue about everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained. Now, this doesn't mean that these people are not found in Muslims or Muslim families. I'm sure around you, you would have seen people who are quarreling about Islam unnecessarily, just quarreling about Islam, just making arguments about Islam without having knowledge, getting into the fiqhi part of the things, which is the actual practice of Islam, the Sharia law, just making arguments without even thinking, just creating jokes about hellfire, jokes about heaven, jokes about different rewards that Allah SWT has promised without even thinking and using their logic as well. So the evildoer, wicked, quarrelsome people who don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's oneness. If somebody believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's oneness, can they make a joke about anything that is mentioned in the Quran? Can they just make a passing argument without having the true knowledge of the Quran? Can they say that this was written in Quran or just forward the message? These days people forward all sorts of messages. And so only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, so only we have made it easy in your tongue that you may give glad tidings with it, meaning the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the righteous, and warn with it the people who are hostile. Lud, meaning the evildoer, wicked, quarrelsome people who don't believe in Allah's oneness and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's message, and argue about everything that Allah SWT has ordained. There are many people in this world today, even they say, what's Hadith and Sunnah? No, Quran is Islam for us. We will just follow the Quran, and whatever they could get out of it. No way. This is not, to get the complete knowledge of Islam and even to understand the entire Quran, you have to make sure that you refer back to the hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for complete guidance. And then you look at his sunnah for how to exemplify your life and how to become a practicing Muslim. And you have to read his seerah, you have to know about his life, how he dealt with all the situations. He's the only man in history who brought about a revolution and completely changed the way people lived individually and collectively in a society. All individual matters of life, we get examples from him of how to be a son, how to be a nephew, how to be a husband, how to be a father, how to be a companion, how to be a friend, how to be a commander, how to be a general, how to be a judge, how to be an accountant, how to be a financial leader, how to be a general in war and lead war. Anything that you can imagine, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained to us how to do it in his hadith, or showed us practically in his sunnah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So still in this world, still within Muslims, people are quarreling and they are arguing without knowledge. So here Quran is clearly telling us to avoid it and be amongst the righteous people, for whom the glad tidings are there. Moving forward, last ayah for today. Wakam ahlakna qablahum min qarn. And how many we have destroyed before them of a generation. We learned so many stories of so many nations completely destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, despite having all the power, all the might, all the wealth. They could not protect themselves and they were turned upside down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are real stories. A lot of the evidence is still available. If you travel across the Middle East, you will find all these signs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to say, go and travel the earth and see signs so that you get this belief in. If you don't get it just by reading, you can just go and even you don't even need to travel. You can just search everything on Google and you'll find all the evidences and the signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hal tuhissu minhum min ahadin aw tasma'u lahu rikza. Can you perceive of them anyone or hear from them a sound? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a very, it's again a very important message that we are getting here, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed generations and nations. Now they're all quiet, they're gone. Earlier in their times, they were so vocal and they were so loud and they were so oppressing the prophets and refuting them. No, this is the wrong argument and how come, and imagine them standing and saying, I'm the chief and I have this power and everything. They were so powerful. They were bringing so many arguments. This Quran is being revealed now to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is addressing the chiefs of Makkah who are opposing him in the loudest of voices. They are oppressing the believers who were with the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are saying, look at you. They are looking down upon them. They are saying, we are powerful in our society. We are the governing ones. You are the poor people. Look at you. Who is better amongst us? They are being so loud. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the generations before them were wiped away. They were wiped out. And now you don't even hear from them. They're gone. They're dusted. They have all gone down in dust. Their voices have been muted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the arrogance is down and gone in dust. So who are these guys? Who are these and who are we even? Now today, if you apply this, then all of the arrogance that we have of the power and the rulership and the wealth and all of this eventually will go down in dust and no one will hear any sound from us. After 100, 200, 300 years, all of us will be gone. All of the wealth and the houses and the properties and everything, if whatever remains from it, will be owned by someone else. And someone else will be living this life and we will be long gone. No one will even know us. Do we know our ancestors who were here, let's say 200, 300 years before? At least I don't know. Some people do keep that, the family tree and all of that, but still they don't have details, right? So they are gone. They're all muted. Similarly, we will be muted and no one will be able to hear them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again reminding us of this reality in this last ayah of this amazing surah that all of us went through. Alhamdulillah. So finally, before I go through actions from this class, any questions, any comment from anyone? Okay, excellent. Action number 1 for today, we had 5 actions. We should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illuminate the bridge for us to cross over hellfire towards Jannah on the day of judgment. We discussed that all people will be asked to cross that bridge, and those people who will be the believers or high Iman will be able to do it easily, but some people will struggle and some people will even fall off from that bridge into the hellfire. So this is a reality that we have to go through, and obviously those people who make their life according to the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be the ones who will be able to follow it. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you wealth and power, make sure to utilize it for the benefit of others versus becoming arrogant and miser. Because this life is a test for everyone. Those given wealth and power are tested what they will do with it, and those who are not given wealth and power are tested for their patience. Will they say Alhamdulillah in all situations or not? So everybody is being tested. Being good in this world doesn't guarantee a VIP pass for Jannah. It is a test. You have to continue to struggle. So continue to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and always be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Treat others with kindness and care, especially the less privileged people. And we discussed multiple examples. You can always look at people who are lower than you and treat them with care, because it is very, very difficult for them to kill their egos and serve you. And they are all around us across all situations. And not just people who are lower than us, but all of the people who are around us. So, and sometimes we see people doing open atrocities, crimes, doing sins and corruption, while it seems that they are getting away with it and they're doing so well, and people are waiting, oh my God, when will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala catch this person? He's so evil. When will Allah? No, the point is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only giving them time to seek forgiveness. Else, if they don't seek forgiveness and they continue down that path of sin, then they will get an even more severe punishment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He's giving them time to come back for forgiveness. So we should never think about, how come that person is getting away and he's so rich and he's taking bribes and he's so corrupt and he's so whatever, but look at him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not getting hold of him. We are no one to decide when will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala get hold of anyone. We are in no position to say that, not just because somebody's corruption is, available and known to everybody, and we ourselves, our life is not known to people. It doesn't make us pious. Of course, all of us have our own shortcomings, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the reason why He gives a time to people, because in order for them to come back and ask for forgiveness, or they go severe in their punishment and severe in their sin. We have to seek guidance, make effort for it, implement whatever we know. This was a longer discussion today. It's very, very important. Just like we are always striving in this world to get the best of this world, we have to strive for the afterlife as well. And to be guided requires lifelong prayers, commitment, and effort, because you cannot slip once, even if you, so we have to try our best to be better practicing Muslims. And once we start on the right path of the guidance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for us. The final action: never assume if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept you well in this world, then this is a guarantee of success in afterlife or hereafter and a VIP pass for Jannah. No, it is a test, and you are being tested with the wealth and good, power, and how you deal with it. So, and we should always remember the end, which is the grave. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentioned all of us will go alone in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the grave is a reality for everybody. Death is a reality for everybody. Be a Muslim, non-Muslim, atheist, whatever. Every person in this world eventually dies, and that is a reality for everyone. So regardless of if you are rich or poor, eventually you have to die and face the consequence and the real reality. So we should make sure that we are balancing our effort for this world. We need to put a lot of effort for our akhirah as well. So this marks the end of today's lesson. Jazakumullahu khairan to all of you, and for all you guys who contributed and who are here. We end today's class with this prayer: Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Purity belongs to Allah and all praise be to Him. Purity belongs to you, O Allah, and all praise be to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship besides you. I beg forgiveness from you and I repent before you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. InshaAllah, I will see you next week, same time.